Hey baby girls, in today's pedicure video, we'll be fixing up those bodged self-cut toenails and bringing back that salon fresh look she desperately needs. I'll be nourishing the nails and skin with soothing paraffin wax to soften everything up and leave Becky's feet feeling like she's walking on a cloud. So first, let's soak the feet in some hot water and Epsom salt and start with some Tropic Body Smooth Scrub to exfoliate the feet. So I never like to wear my gloves when I'm exfoliating the feet. I find it puts a bit of a barrier between my hands and their foot, and I like to be able to feel the pressure of the exfoliation against their foot so I know I'm not doing it too hard or not causing any aggravation. I cannot even begin to tell you how buttery soft the skin and feet feel just with this one step. Honestly, this product is so beautiful and it makes your skin feel like silk. So in the winter, I used to use this product all the time because I used to use it before I fake tanned, and it used to give me like a perfect prep for my fake tan to go on, because as well as exfoliating, it used to hydrate the skin, so my skin would feel really nourished. So I'm now drying the feet and I'm making sure to get in all the nooks and crevices so I'm not leaving any areas between the toes wet. This also makes sure that you have removed all the exfoliator between those toes. So the first thing I wanted to tackle was those little hairs on the toes, and I'm using some thread just to remove these. She has just recently shaved them, so they were super short, so they was tricky to remove. So I used some tweezers just to get the really short ones out. So now it's time to try and correct the shape of the toenails, and I'm using my Navy Professional nail cutters. I used to hate it when my clients would cut their toenails just before their pedicure appointment, as they would always go too short and most of the time they were wonky, which then makes your life so much harder. But Becky was told last minute she was receiving a pedicure today, so we can let her off. Becky had cut one side of her nails way too short, so I didn't want to take the other side down quite as short, so I tried to balance them out and make them look as even as possible without taking the other side too short. So the toenails are all filed and I'm just going to dust them off, and then we're going to prep the cuticles using some Dior cuticle remover. So we wasn't 100% sure if Becky had a fungal toenail or if it was trauma from an old stub toe. So to be safe, I used a different applicator to apply the cuticle remover on the big toe. think a lot of people out there will be so surprised at how many people have fungal toenails and how common it actually is. If you have a fungal toenail, then go to the doctors and get some medication for it. This will be the best thing that you will ever do for your toenail. There is tablets and even topical products that will get rid. So the bottoms of Becky's feet didn't actually even look like she had any dry skin on there, but when you start rasping, you will be surprised at how much excess dead skin layer is still sat on the bottoms of the feet, so this really did make a difference. So I'm now just spraying to clean the dust from the feet using my Queso Mandarin foot sprays. So I'm now back to tackle the cuticles, and I'm using my Navy Professional Doris curved cuticle tool. This is really amazing to get in those nuts and crannies and to really push those cuticles back without causing any damage to the nail plate or the cuticle. So just look how much dead cuticle is sat on the nail plate, and if you was to paint with gel polish, you would find after a few days your nail polish will have already started to lift. This is because the gel polish wouldn't be able to adhere to the nail properly due to all this cuticle sat on the nail. So once I've pushed the cuticles back, I then go in with another Navy Professional tool. This is called their Ethel, and this is a straight bladed manicure tool, and this is really good for just making sure those stubborn cuticle areas are removed and there's nothing stuck on the nail plate. I then change my tool to the Navy Professional Helen fine bladed cuticle nippers, and I'm just removing all that dead skin away from the nail plate and away from around the nails, making sure I'm only cutting away the dead skin. So now I'm going in with my nail buffer, and I'm just going to buff the nails. This preps the nails in preparation for the gel polish that we're going to be doing later on in the treatment. So I'm grabbing my electric file and I'm just now removing those little bits of hard skin that we get around the nails that we can't get to with the nail buffer and the nail file. So believe it or not, this is one of my favourite bits. This is the Martha Precision Nail Paddle Tool from Navy Professional, and this just hooks out any gunk or any sock fluff that people have under their nail. I just feel like it makes the nail look so much cleaner and so much nicer. So using my Dior micellar water, I'm just going to cleanse all the nail plate. So now let's start to hydrate these feet, and I'm first using Origin Ginseng Glow Boosting Mask. This is packed with so much hydration and moisture, and it has these little tiny encapsulated beads that when massaged or heat activated, they burst and add vitamin C into the skin's barrier. So now it's time for the paraffin wax, and I'm just pouring the wax directly into these little mitt bags, and then I adjust Becky's foot to slip into the bag, and then with real light pressure I'm just going to press the paraffin wax up into the foot to allow it to set around the bottoms of her feet. Let me tell you, these feet are starting to feel like actual baby's newborn feet. Just look at the bottoms of her feet. Those heels are almost shining. Now it's time to paint the toenails, and I'm just using some tissue just to separate the toes. So using the gel bottle 2-in-1 base coat, I'm just going to apply my first base layer. It takes a steady hand and a lot of concentration to paint these teeny tiny toenails. So now I'm going to set my base layer and then I can apply my first colour coat. And we're going for the colour Candy by the Gel Bottle. This is one of my absolute favourite reds and it is such a holiday red. It's got an orange undertone and oh my god, it looks incredible on every skin tone. So let's set the first colour coat and then go in with a second coat of colour. So I applied the polish a little bit thicker on this corner of the nail because this is where the nail was slightly discoloured and I didn't want it to show when I painted it for a second time. So let's set the final colour coat and then go in with our finishing top coat. Just look how gorgeous these feet look. I'm now just going to go in and nourish her cuticles using some Harlem London Copper Dew oil. Now let's finish the feet and I'm using my Esper 24-hour moisture surge. So here's a reminder of what the toenails looked like before. So now Becky is summer ready and ready to put her feet in those sandals. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!